I have been terrible with my time. One might say I'm even a professional procrastinator. Now, what I had to realize was that I have a system problem. There are 24 hours in a day, and many of us feel like that's honestly not enough. I have to eat, I have to sleep, I have to work, I have to, and the list goes on and on. But the reality is that you have enough time, you just don't have the discipline. And I realized this when I made the goal for myself of, I'm going to go to the gym five or what did I say? 4 times a week. I do six now. I know. I do six now, but that was only after I changed some stuff, right? But first, 4 times a week, not too bad, right? But when I woke up in the morning, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired. Low key, I have the snooze button. If I, move some things around, I can probably just do it in the afternoon when I'm less tired. I could sleep a little bit more, get 1 more hour of sleep, so on, right? I learned at a very young age, if you negotiate with yourself, you will lose every single time. Your brain knows you a lot better than you know yourself. So every time that you find yourself, okay, how do I move this, that, how do I just know it's already a done deal? It's over, right? You need to have discipline, right? Because when we have systems in place and when we have routines, how we feel in the moment starts to matter a lot less. Now, that's a very hard thing to do because obviously, like we might feel tired and this day or, something else comes up and so on. But if we don't put aside that time and make it like a ritual almost, right? We end up not doing it at all. And we can take this to anything inside of life. I am trying to work on a lot of things. I'm trying to do this like YouTube thing, right? And finding the time to edit, to record, to, write a script, think about topics, whatever, right? All those things put together, honestly, it's just easier to not do it at all, right? If there was more time in a day, chances are we'd fill it up with more BS, if we're being honest. So look at your schedule and look at, what can go, what can, stay, what's important, what's not as important, and how do I make sure that I have things in place regardless of how I feel at the time and regardless of how busy things get or how lax things get. These certain things will be done, and these other things I could probably say no to, or I can probably reschedule or so on. But what do you think? What works for you? What hasn't worked for you? And what are some of the things that inside of your life? You're like, oh my goodness, this is something I've been trying to do and I just cannot find the time to do it. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it in the comments.